tell you, who would have thought that would be the lead-in music for a man whose voice is well known to the SEN family, and he is now the Geelong Footy Club assistant coach of the midfield, Nathan Buckley. Welcome.
G'day, Gaz. G'day, what's up?
G'day, Bucklesby. Join in. We are Geelong. Come on, you've got to sing it.
It's going to be really interesting when we have our first win and we get a chance to sing that song.
And we'll be zooming straight in on you too.
You reckon?
Don't you worry about that.
It might be like the national anthem. I'll just be mumbling.
No, you won't. Hey, congratulations, first of all.
Yes, congratulations.
This is, I heard this news whenever it broke yesterday, and I thought my initial reaction was smart on your behalf to, once you've sort of indicated that you want to get back into coaching, to get back at Clubland. And my initial thought was you must be doing a day a week or 2 days a week. Mm. And then it emerged that this is the whole big full kahuna, full-time midfield coach.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever half in to something like this. If you're in a club environment and as we were talking off air, if you're committed to getting back in the cut and thrust of the game, well, then you jump in. So that's exactly what I'll be doing. And as we were, as you would know, so Geelong do things a little differently. Chris Scott is not your quintessential senior coach. He comes at problems from a different direction, as does Stephen Hocking and Andrew Mackey. So it was an interesting discussion over the last week and came to pass that we feel that there's a fit there for what I'm passionate about and what I need to do and where they're at.
How did it come about? Talk us through it, because we had Stephen Hocking in here on Thursday talking about Stephen King and the hole that he would leave, and now they were going to have to fill it. Now, he may have had you in the back of his mind, so just talk us through how it all came about.
Well, I was listening to that. It was Thursday, and I ended up meeting with Steve Hocking, Andrew Mackey and Chris Scott later that day.
Right.
But no, Scotty sent me a text on Tuesday morning, like last Tuesday.
Out of the blue?
So we're talking about 8 days ago. Yeah, out of the blue, and said, if you've got a chance, need to have a chat, need to spend 15 minutes with you if possible. We had that conversation, planted the seed, went away and thought about it. There was probably 2 or 3 sticking points. One is the living arrangements with my young fellas. Second one was probably sincerely was finances and how that fits, how you can make that transition. And the third one was my wish, I suppose, my desire to get back into senior coaching and obviously the Tassie possibility there and how that would impact on that. So we were able to address all 3 of those as we went through, and it with an open mind to this might not work, but let's explore it, which is a very Geelong thing to do, I'm discovering. And then there was a solution to be found.
So, Bucks, congratulations. Are you still going to do media work as well? And if you are, how does that fit with coaching?
Well, it'll fit around it, Watso, and I will do it. Fox have been excellent and I've really enjoyed my time in the media. This does break the mould a little bit. It will be a different paradigm. But my primary role and my primary responsibility will be to Geelong in my coaching role. But the way they set up their system and structure, and it's a timetable that I'm not yet fully aware of, but it's their contention that I will still be able to straddle and dip my toe into some of my media work. I definitely won't be as prolific as I was in the last 3 or 4 years, but there will be an opportunity there to work with Fox.
How do you see that as a difficult thing to navigate? That the confidentiality of working with inside a football club, going outside that football club, doing your media commitment, whatever that might be, and still having the same access to people outside of Geelong that you've enjoyed over the last few years?
The short answer to that is no. I think it becomes an integrity issue, and I don't think I've been someone who has dealt in, I suppose, information in terms of some form of currency to propagate my media standing or my media influence. I don't think I'm not a shock jock. I definitely just call things as I see them, and I'm generally on the positive end of the scale of reinforcing what someone might be doing well. So I think if I was down the other end of the scale, it would be more difficult. But I don't have any fears for that.
I'm thinking about access. We've seen this in the past where people that have been employed by football clubs, they've been denied access to football rooms, dressing rooms, change rooms, that type of thing because of information that might be left up on boards and that type of thing. You'd be aware of that.
Yeah, well, look, I remember when Adelaide, won a game, early this year, or sort of later in the year, and we were sitting in their change rooms, and I think it was the game against Hawthorn they were able to get over the line, or even the Collingwood win. But we were in the Adelaide rooms, Gaz and I, and we were soaking up the feeling the emotion of it, and it was awesome. That won't happen, and I don't expect to be in that situation. And I would never. I think Fox will be pragmatic about this. We're not going to put a Geelong midfield coach or assistant coach in the middle of a Hawthorn rooms. That's not going to take place. So there are things that I suppose get clipped or possibilities that won't be there, but that doesn't mean that you don't fulfil your role to the best of its ability.
So from a Tassie point of view, and I will say this, that there's no guarantees you're going to be the senior coach, obviously, and I know you get unfairly targeted there, but you rang Brendan Gale and just said, listen, what does this look like if I was to do this?
Yeah, I just said, what would the Devils' opinion be if this was to take place? Would it be a positive or a negative, or would it be neutral? And the feedback was that it would only if it prepares you better, well then it puts your claims further ahead, and we would support it. So I think the basis of that is, and my understanding has been, the Devils have still got some hurdles to cross with the stadium, then the licence. And then the VFL program is being put together at the moment. The senior coach is going to fit in there somewhere. Whether that's late this year, early next year, midway through 26, that should be on the Devils' timeline. Will be on the Devils' timeline. And I suppose, what do? Do I tread water in between that, waiting for that decision? If it goes my way, well then that'll take me down one, or us down one path. If it goes the other way, well then I've got to be thinking, what am I doing with my life? You know, if I want to get back into footy and I want to coach, well then that's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, so you're upskilling for the opportunity if it presents itself, which can only be a great thing. You've been out of footy for 4 years, and as much as we in the media work at the level that we work at, it's nowhere near the level that you will be doing with the Geelong Footy Club. I'm just wondering the timeline, if it was to appoint the Devils senior coach, and this is purely hypothetical, you or anyone else was to be announced and you were working in a club, how do you think that works itself out?
Well, that is a hypothetical, and we don't need to cross that bridge when we got there. I mean, there was. I
don't expect you to know the answer, but if it was, for instance, James Kelly, who was in the same situation and gone for the job, it's just not exclusive to you. It's just a delicate one for them and the club to work. If it was Corey Enright at St Kilda, they'd have to deal with the same thing.
It is. My understanding is that the Devils feel that they don't need their senior coach on deck immediately, but that obviously as you're getting closer to when the AFL team would come in, and that's been scoped as 2028, that you would obviously need to ramp up your responsibilities and your presence in the state. And yes, I do see that there could be
challenges.
Well, if whoever gets employed by the Devils as senior coach, invariably they're going to be in the football system somewhere with an existing role at the moment.
Yep.
You talked before about how, and we acknowledge this from the outside, Geelong appear to do things differently. How challenging do you think that will be to the way philosophically you've thought about the game and players and relationships and that type of thing?
Hopefully, absolutely challenging, mate. I am looking forward to that. I'm really open-minded about what this looks like, and with the understanding that the first port of call is whatever is to the benefit of the Geelong Footy Club, the players and the staff within it. My job, I'm now part of a club again, and like I'm shaking my head talking about this. I've been a Collingwood person for over three decades, and I've sat out of that, and even in the media in the last 4 years, I'm still a Collingwood person. So to be back into another organisation and to be even contemplating and understanding that my job will be to help Geelong win football games, to help their players be the best that they can possibly be, to set up systems and structures that allow them to be better than their opposition week in, week out. Like, that's my job. And I'm looking forward to that challenge. And I'll be working under Chris Scott. He is the leader of the coaching program. I'll be working under Andrew Mackey, who is the leader of the footy department, and Stephen Hocking. And I'm looking forward just to being able to play a role in a team. I haven't done that for a while. Like, outside of having the responsibilities of the ultimate sort of decision maker in the coaching area, it's this is a new experience for me, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Hey, we think it's fantastic. Our SMS, 90% positive, Bucks. You've worked here long enough to understand how that works.
Yes, mate.
The only one we've got to get out of you before you farewell us today is, will you be doing your Monday means test with Jared?
I don't think that'll be happening. But look, they're once again, I'll be guided by the club.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be guided by the club. If they were really clear. We don't stand in the way of any of our people having balance in their lives. So if there's earning opportunities elsewhere, if there's family responsibilities, or if there's time that needs to be taken, Geelong seem to be, and they contend to be, an environment that is for the individual first, for them to get the best out of them as a footballer, as a staff member. So I love that philosophy, and I think that's what we were able to build late in my senior time at Collingwood, the back half of it. So to be able to see it represented in another form that's been consistent and successful over a long period of time is something I'm looking forward to.
Hey, good luck.
Cheers, mate.
We mean that sincerely. We think the journey is just starting for you again, and it's great to see, and we'll watch with great interest, and we'll critique you fairly.
I'm sure you will.
Nathan Buckley.
And you look great in that cotton on t-shirt too. It fits you
like it?
beautifully. It looks great.
Geelong
Enough branding.
midfield assistant coach.